Hello and welcome to Baggio's Penalty Landed in My Garden. It's me, Andrew, back with Scott. Scott, we are deep into the knockouts, and that is my fault because we tried to record on Saturday, and my
Sunday, I
internet
think
decided
Sunday.
it's a Sunday, and my internet decided it was just going to die as soon as we hit record. So a couple of days have passed. We're deep into the knockouts now, and this is where it really gets going. And it didn't quite work as well because it was South Africa against Canada, which was a bit of a damp start. But the knockouts is where used to be, I think it used to be on like a Saturday. It was like a Saturday tea time was like the first game, and that was like, we're going now, we're into it. And we've got there. There's been some absolutely belting knockout games. But we're in. So how you feeling World Cup wise? Are you sort of sad that it's gonna we're on the down slope now? We're kind of
No,
climbed that mountain.
I don't. I'm not sad because I think we have had a lot of games, and I'm happy because it is a knockout stage. So every game now means a little bit more.
Mm.
If you slip up, chances are you're out the competition. So no, I'm still very much in a good mood about the whole tournament.
So we're going to start. We're going to talk through the sort of teams that have made it through. We're going to be wary and not talking about the teams that are still to come because they're going to get knocked out as soon as we big them up. That's what happens. I'm wearing the Belgian shirt after they get through because I was wearing the Germany shirt the day of the game when they got beat. I was like, I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not going to curse another team like Japan as well. Scott, we'll start with France because with a couple of pauses there, we're saying like they look the best, and they still do. Like they still look like they're going through the motions at some points, and then Olise, Mbappé, Dembele just go bing, 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 goal, and you're like, what just happened? They look phenomenal, don't they?
Well, they don't even look as if they've anywhere near top gear yet. You know that's the kind of crazy thing about it. As you say, there's moments where they just all come together and just shine and totally take a team apart, and then then it's always as if they're playing with teams. You know, like a cat does with a
Yeah,
bit of prey. And you're like they just go bish bash bosh. That's it, and then 10 minutes later they do it again, and it's almost as if it's just too easy. And we've discussed it before. That forward line, you've got what 5 or 6 players that can interchange. So if two of them aren't working, another two great players can come in and just change things up.
because we're saying like Dewey is not quite maybe arrived. He got the goal at the end, the header against Norway, but like against like a second string team. But he's the one that's maybe not quite arrived yet. But then Barkova looks great, who's been his understudy during the season. You've still got like Cherky and even Mateta's coming on. That you're like, God, he could be, if you play against a low block like Mateta's your ideal. There's lob it in, big man. Like
I
they've just
totally forgot
got so many
Mateta was there.
options.
I totally forgot Mateta was there. They brought him on the other night, and you're like, yeah, I totally forgot that they've got that change as well, where they can have something more kind of
More physical.
bulky, kind of number nine, yeah, that can bully players. It's crazy the amount of talent they've got.
I've been saying even before the tournament started, I was like, this is going to be the summer of Elise. This is a kid who's going to bring that X factor. There's something that France always lacked. Even when they had like when Griezmann was playing, sometimes through the middle there's lacked a little bit of creativity. Someone's to, and he's been phenomenal. Some of the passes, he's got 5 assists already, which is I think equals the record. I think in the World Cups, and I can't remember what the year was, but he's up there. Like, what are the chances he doesn't get another one? The overhead kick against Sweden that would have been one of the best World Cup goals of all time. He is just bringing something different. You can see like Mbappe respects him because he's been putting on a plate for him. Maybe Dembele's a little bit like, wait a second, you're taking up my job here and doing my things, but he's been incredible.
That's the thing is, so you've got Elise just pulling the strings, just going wherever he wants, getting the ball, putting in the threaded pass. So Mbappe absolutely loves it because he's just putting it on a plate for him. But even then,
He's
Dembele,
making these runs thinking, I know I'm going to get it. I know I'm going to get it. And yeah,
but Dembele's not sulking. Dembele then just goes, right, give it to my left foot. I'll cut inside and I'll just curl in a hat trick. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what you've got. Do you know what I mean? Dembele, I've been really impressed with Dembele. Not as much as the other two in a sense, but in another way, differently, because he has got that Ballon d'Or. He's like, do you know what? I deserve
mm,
that Ballon d'Or. And this is the reason I've got. So he's then just said, when things maybe aren't going well, like Mbappe wasn't scoring in his last group game. You could see that he was trying. It was just things weren't working out for him.
yeah,
And
it just wasn't
Dembele
that
went,
day.
That's fine. I'll take the goals today." And that's what they've got. And you've got Elise, who's just playing in different wee pockets, and some of his passes have been sublime, you know, and they've just cut teams apart.
You,
And it
you
doesn't
look at
matter whether you play
the
a low block or you play a you try and man mark and everything else. He's the one that's finding space and then just letting everybody else run free.
the pass for the second Mbappe goal when they kind of did like the VAR lines, it's like he could not have got it timed any better. Like
Yeah,
it's like part of his arm was off, and you're like an inch from the shoulder, and you're like, fuck, it's just incredible. And that's Mbappe as well. The timing. The thing on Dembele before we get to Mbappe, Dembele getting the goal against Iraq was probably one of the most important moments in this World Cup for France because he hadn't scored a tournament goal yet, and I imagine that was probably eating him inside and be like, "Am I going to get it? Am I going to get it?" He gets one against them, and then poor Sweden does, so poor Norway get the hat trick because now he's like, the pressure's off now. Like, I've got my tournament
yeah.
goal. I'm just going to curl in three identical goals into the far corner. And
It's just that
if,
it's a shame because it did feel as if Norway were like, just have a shot from there, then see if you can do it again.
go on, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
can.
fuck, is that again? Go on.
One more
You
time.
never, you never do it twice. Fuck. Nah, go on. Three times not happening.
But yeah, the French have been far and away the best team so far in this tournament.
I felt very vindicated when we were watching I don't know who was on the commentary. Might have been so it was Wayne Rooney at half time. Like, he's the closest to R9
Yeah.
we've had. I'm like, we said that. We said that. Wayne. That's
We
what,
said that, yeah, we did. And it's
and
true.
it was the first goal. Just a little like step over shimmy. The little touch. You don't know how he even gets his foot on it before he shoots. Incredible.
And the power he generates from his shots, the pace that he's got, it is the closest we've come to so far.
It's yeah. I'm looking forward. It's one of those like you just like they've got Paraguay next, which we'll get to that game. And you're like, well, that's them surely in the quarters. And then I think if I do my little interactive thing, if they go there, and so it's Morocco. It'd be Morocco in the quarters have to beat Canada, which is a massive, massive game because that's who knocked them out of the last World Cup as well. So I look forward to that. Next up, Scott, one of our favourites, Brazil. They kind of kicked off the knockouts. That was the game. Brazil, Japan. Japan took the lead, and you're like, oh, is this the turning of the tide? And then Carlo went, no, mate. Bit of a change in formation. Put Endrick on. They went a bit wider. I was telling you last night they put like was it 29 crosses in the box the second half?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to the Japanese, it is probably their weak point because they've not got a lot of big
So we said
guys.
that I think in a previous pod
Is
against
it
the Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're one of the kind of smaller nations in the tournament, so you're going to have to put balls on top of them, and that's obviously Carlo Ancelotti listened to that podcast and he thought, right, okay, these guys know what they're talking about. So thank you for the assist. But no, it was true. And I also think we've discussed this previously as well about the psychology for Scotland. I think it's maybe similar for Japan. I think they saw the yellow shirts a bit in the second half as well, and they thought,
They're coming. The wave
yeah,
of
it's like
Brazil. Oh, it's
we sit a bit
Brazil.
deeper. We'll just defend it. We've got what we want. We'll just defend it. You're thinking you should have
They
stuck
work.
to your
They
game
work
plan a
so
bit
hard the
longer.
first half. I think there's a bit leggy as well. Like,
Yeah, but you've got to try and find that energy. Maybe substitutes. I don't know. We've got to find that energy for another 10 minutes. And I think as soon as Casemiro scored, and listen, he was lucky beyond the park. That first half performance was one of the worst I've ever
Scott goes
seen.
that fucking pull, getting pulled at half time. He scores.
Listen,
Like, I'd still have pulled him.
and as soon as he scored, I was like, still hook him. Still hook him off because he's not.
I think he was better second half. I think they weren't
No, of
under as
course.
much. They weren't getting as much pressure from the Japanese.
The Japanese are playing
what
deeper. But if you're playing
what
against a really good midfield, so you're playing against France, you're playing against Portugal, you're playing against Spain, Argentina, you cannot keep going with that midfield with him
well, the
there.
thing is that they're playing against Norway next. I'm not sure. Norway have got a really solid, good midfield like Sander Berg, Odegaard. But I don't think they're not they're not like a kind of Morocco midfield that will pass it around them. They kind of is like power their way. So I'm really interested by that because you're not going to get the cross and luck against Norway. That's the one team you can't.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah,
you
you
can't
be
do
on
that.
We'll be interested. The Norway one will be interested because he was holding his groin when he came off, so I don't know if he's maybe picked up a wee injury. But in terms of Norway and Brazil, Haaland, Gabriel had lots of bit of
I know.
battles. I think that they're not going to be in for a quiet night. The two Brazilian defenders.
I saw someone put a bet on it. Was it Haaland 2 fouls committed, Gabriel 2 fouls committed, Gabriel to be fouled twice, Haaland to be fouled twice. Like I
Yeah,
need to look at the odds of that. That's getting put on.
that's a good shout. So
Yeah,
it will be an interesting one. And as you say, they can't rely on the crosses, but they might be a bit more kind of reliant
they're more
on maybe Hendrick's
space in
pace or
behind. Yeah,
um, I don't know if Rafinha will come back in if he's fit,
I
but
think
they'll
he's
be
out. I think he's out for the whole
is
tournament. I
he out
think
for the whole
he's
tournament?
gone.
That's a
Yeah,
shame. So you think maybe right somebody
Ryan's
else will
pace.
somebody's pace will kinda come into it as well, even Vinny on the other side.
That's gonna be a really good battle, that one. On that side of the draw, so last night England beat DR Congo last night, and it's something these games have gone away, and we'll get to Senegal's defeat as well as the kind of the new wave of teams, right? These like the kind of next level down that could go all the way at some point. Is getting it done in a knockout game. And at no point last night did I think England were going to lose. There's no part of me, not me having the fear they're going to win it as easy, you always expect them, but
But no, I
they,
think you're in the majority. I think lots of people. I looked at the score. I was working, so I only saw the highlights and stuff. But when I was kept on checking the scores, I just kept on expecting England to score and then England to score again. But again,
but you
it's experience. I think is the
yeah.
main part to take away from Doctor Congo.
But looking at the numbers, right, watching the game, and BBC are going, "Oh, they've been so bad." And that the keeper made like 5 amazing saves. Like Mpasi was having the game of his life. To have the game of his life, you have to create really good chances. England could have been 3-1 up at half time. Like just because you don't score doesn't mean you're playing bad. Like the keeper's having a worldie. They've hit the post. It's like easily could have gone. It could have been such a comfortable game for them. Like they played well. They did an awful start with defence. Picked up
Did
getting
Visa
beat.
not miss a nice chance when it was
Visa
one
should have
0
scored, and I
Yeah,
was like last night. That's the slight like if they do go on and win it, God forbid. That's the sliding doors moment of like you had a lapse in concentration. You go 1-0 down. A deflected cross comes in and Wissa hits the post. If that goes in, you're 2-0 down. Then I believe they could go out. Like 2-0s are much harder. But as soon as they get one, they're going to score two. Just the way that these smaller teams that don't have the experience, like they're going to sit they're either going to sit deeper and deeper and try and protect the 1-1, or they're going to try and have a goal and they're going to open up space and England will score. Like, it was inevitable. And fair play, Harry Kane's second goal
and,
is world
and
class. Like,
that is a
absolutely.
difference point between the two teams as well as you've got a world class finisher
Yep.
who you just these two chances you can score them. I think the only thing I'll say on the kind of people saying that it's this, that, next and crap or whatever is that it's got always sorry also in the back of the Ghana and Panama performances. I don't think England have kicked in. I
No, they
think that
haven't.
that's the thing. And you also for us is kind of Scottish people as well we also get the English media, and they're already planning for semi-final, final. You're like, well, wait there, Mexico coming up. That's going to be your toughest game. That's going to be a hell of a game for you. And then if say you get past that, you've got Brazil in the quarters. So let's just
Yeah,
take one game at a time
I
because
know.
that's the. And as listen, I'm sure Tuchel and the team are, but I mean, it's just crazy to think that you're.
I must say, I've not heard it down here as much at all. Like, that sort of the way they go fucking is coming home and there's like cars with flags everywhere. It's not got there.
It's
And
not. It's not the coming home. I don't think they are thinking that they're winning at this stage. But it was the kind of overlooking of a couple of stages
yeah,
that I've seen.
when I was looking at it was so hard with the draw because of all the third place teams and who you might face. But when we saw that if Mexico won their group and England won their group, it was around the 16, the Azteca. I was like, please let that happen.
Yeah.
Please let that happen. And look, England might still win, right? But I was up for the Mexico game against Ecuador. The atmosphere in the Azteca was ridiculous. And I'm sure the highlights that came across as well, but just like the first like 30 minutes of just constant noise and pressure from the Mexicans, they fucking went for it. And you're like, that's so hard to be up against. And then I don't know if you saw the Ecuador story of they put a complaint in because basically for like 2 days straight there was like fireworks and cars outside the hotel. Please let that. That's good. If you think it was big against Ecuador, times it by 200. They're going to go fucking out of their way.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so England, what do? Do you arrive early to try and get acclimatized to your 2,200 meters above sea level? Do you get there early, knowing you're not going to sleep for 3 days, or do you turn up last minute and have a good kip, but then you're playing a game at altitude? It's going to be like I think it's like 5 or 6 p.m. Mexico time, so it's
No,
still going to be hot.
I seen Tuchel already saying that they can't prepare for the altitude. I don't strictly believe that in the sense that I think they'll have prepared. They'll have seen what everybody else saw, that if they win their group and Mexico win the group, they're going to beat them at some point. So I think they will have done something. I don't think the English FA will have done nothing to think
Mm,
about that eventuality. But the problem is, doesn't matter how much you kind of prepare away from it. See when you're actually there, and you've got the noise, you've got the lack of air, you've got the speed and the dictation of the game from the Mexicans, and you're kind of chasing it a wee bit. Then it all kind of you're in no man's land a wee bit.
and if Mexico start the way they're starting against Ecuador, which I assume they will, and what makes it more interesting now is like there was expectation, like they've not won a knockout game, and I think it's either a very long time or it's not ever,
I
but
think
it's
it was
like a
since
long time,
'86. I think it was since the last time
right?
they were in Mexico. Yeah.
That's now gone. You're now not the favourite anymore. You're playing the mighty England. Like the kind of they've got this aura about, especially outside of England. Like they're still one of the, like, all the Premier League stars that all these people watch. Like Mexico aren't the favourites anymore, which kind of takes that pressure off them. They could just go for it. And like if they went out to England, there's no disgrace. Javier Aguirre is like, well, I've got to be against England. Like they've got Kane, Belgium, da 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 da. But like, if you lost against Ecuador, that's a totally different situation.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't get through, like this is probably one of the most exciting ones, and like I'm actually looking forward to watching England game for once, which is a difficult.
It's early in the morning, so you have to stay up for it. I think
I'm working. I'm getting paid to watch it as
yeah,
well. Get in.
even better. I think the big issue would be for me is if what happens yesterday happens again to England. If they concede an early goal, I think they're cupped because what happened yesterday was they were playing a team with less experience, and
Massively.
they kind of had the last 15 minutes just overran them and all the rest of it. You're not going to get that in Mexico. You're not going to have the legs, I don't think, in the last
No,
10 minutes to kind of really push for
especially
it.
in those conditions, if you're chasing, it's gonna be really difficult. I think England have to slow that game down as quick as possible.
It's score fast, I
Like
think, is their
take
biggest
take the
advantage.
crowd out of it, get the crowd all frustrated, or
Yeah.
like, and then that's how you get through it. That's going to be a fascinating one. Probably the biggest shock so far, Scott, in the World Cup was Germany losing to Paraguay. Not just losing to Paraguay on penalties. The first World Cup shootout that Germany have ever lost,
Yeah, that's
which
what I
is
said. So
incredible.
people were coming up to me yesterday. They were saying, "Oh, that's the first time they've lost a major tournament." But I was like, "No, no, Panenka. There was a
So
penalty
yeah,
named
the
after it."
Euros, yeah, yeah,
But that was the
World Cup
Euros.
loss.
So World Cups, I'm glad you said the World Cup because, as I say, lots of people were saying ever in a tournament, and we were like, no, 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 there's actually a name that's came out that.
Imagine getting beat by the Panenka when the guy's taking it. Surely you know he's going to do a Panenka.
But the interesting thing about penalties, can you say the player's name again? Because
Goretzka.
Goretzka, yeah, because my
If you're a fan of
pronunciation.
our podcast for years, Scott is terrible with
Yeah,
names.
yeah, my
What?
pronunciation. I know who the players are. I know what they do as
His
footballers,
memory's
but
amazing, just know how to say
just
players'
as
names.
just not how to actually say them. Supposedly, he refused twice when asked to take a penalty, and Jonathan Taz obviously then had to step up, number 6, and he's blown his. I don't think. I don't think a professional footballer should be refused to take especially in a penalty shootout. Maybe different in the game if you don't fancy it and all the rest of it. But in a penalty shootout, I because what's so this is my take on it. So when I played football, I probably missed as many as I scored in terms of penalties, and I know it's different in terms of you're in a World Cup, this, that, next thing. But really, what is the worst that can happen? We've seen loads of Roberto Baggio
I
missed a
know.
penalty in the World Cup final and stuff like that. You will go over it. You will. Chances are you get another penalty and you can take it. And you've dealt with that pressure. I just think that you need to stand up for your teammates. You need to stand up for your country, and just go for it. Because why are you letting a centre back who's, I'm guessing by his techniques, never taken a penalty in his life, do it? Because you've shied away from it. And the Germans of all the nations should be the absolute,
Kings, especially
perfect.
someone like so. When you bring on Leon Goretzka, you're bringing on an experienced leader. The guy's Bayern Munich, Champions League, Germany, World Cups. He's the one that should be right. I don't really fancy it. Maybe I'm not a penalty guy, but I will take one from my country. This is what I'm here for. And I feel sorry for Jonathan Tah, right? Because he scores the goal, scores the winner, which should have stood. The keeper like fucking bounced off him and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
fell to the ground. Like,
He
I
initiated the
mean,
contact, the
Orlando
goalkeeper.
Hill played a fucking screamer all game. To be fair, and then he's 6'7" as well, which helps. A bit of contact. Jonathan Tah scores the winner, gets disallowed, and then he's walking up going, "Fuck, it's me, is it?" Like shit.
Yeah.
The pressure on that for him is on another level, and I see both sides. If you just don't fancy penalties, I get why when you're picking your five, I want five people to go. I want one, and
Yeah.
I don't care if you're in a fucking goalkeeper, a centre back. If you've got the fucking balls that you're like, I'm on one, you're taking it. You're
So,
on my list.
so ideally,
But
the five should be your five best penalty takers, and they should be seven. But see when it gets to six, it's just that because you're if
right,
it goes to
where's my
10, you're going to
leaders?
have to. So somebody you're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
have to take a penalty.
And then I'm like, that's when I want my leaders to go. I've got this.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
Yeah. And then obviously if Jonathan Tah hates penalties, right, we're putting you down like near 10. If it gets to there, we're fucked anyway. So like fine. Yeah, that's when I want the guys who have been around to take one.
If
But
you can pass a ball, then just pass it. Pass it to the net.
no, Scott, you've got to fucking like stutter and fucking do all this bullshit. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
It's the worst.
That is,
And
yeah.
if
I do
this
not know why that has become a thing. I just because
it
as I
it
say,
was
having taken
I think it was
penalties,
just saying
I
I think
just
it was
want to go up
Georgie
and smash it.
it was apparently Jorginho started it, was the first one. Like, Hazard did it as well. And, like, doesn't mean everyone. Like, I watched Lewis Burn plays for Charlton, scored fucking 64 goals. I seen him miss about 4 of them as well. I was like, you're in fucking tier 9. Just hit the ball. You've scored 60 goals, you prick. Fucking just batter it.
I
Like,
always
fuck
like Van
me.
Basten needed to be hot and then ran up and took his penalty. It's,
I think it should.
concentrate on where you're hitting it, and then just hit it there. Do not worry about the stutter. I don't think you're 9 times out of 10. I don't think the keeper's moving until you can't see him.
I think the
I like
keepers are
Ivan
learning.
Toney.
If I stand still, it's fucking them.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
and
Ivan
Joe,
Toney does a good penalty, but again, I think that's a lot of technique. I don't expect everybody to do that,
yeah.
but I just think just run up and take a hit the shot.
I
Don't
think
worry
the
about anything
stutter,
else.
the stutter, if you're like, right, I'm going bottom right here, this is where I'm going, and you still do the stutter, but no matter what you do, you're still hitting it in that corner, you still know.
Yeah,
What happens is they get there and they kind of go, shit, he's not moving,
yeah.
and and you get the most shit penalty ever. I think it should be banned, if I'm honest. They kind of like, you should not be allowed to like slow as you get to the ball. It was the England one against Croatia. Harry Kane stops and the keeper then moves. Of course he moves, because he's about to fucking kick the ball. Like,
That's yeah. So
yeah,
that's why I agree with you. It should be banned because if a striker's allowed to do that, but keeper's not allowed to move off his line,
yeah.
or the keeper's, it's just a disadvantage. So
You
let's
know,
just
it's
have
already deemed to be
everything.
like a 75% chance of going in. They're kind of making it even harder for the
Yeah,
goalkeepers. And fair play to big Orlando Hill. He fucking saved a couple. There was some really bad penalties. But what I wanted to go is like, we're talking about the way England played and they made all those chances. And I was like, I wasn't worried. Germany created nothing.
no.
They did not know what to do against. I'm like, well, you've got Kai Havertz is pretty good in the air. And Dav's got a good header. Fucking get like, it wasn't until like Kimmich started lobbing balls into the box that they were causing trouble. Like, get big Voltamada on, put some bodies in the box, and just start lobbing crosses. That's how you beat a low block.
So I might sound like a dinosaur here, right? But I don't understand why one of my biggest pet hates is that managers just decide I'll plan A, and then if plan A doesn't work, then plan A again.
Just
It's
keep
like
doing it.
I just
Yeah.
don't know if you look at 25 minutes into a game, sometimes even less than that, and your tactics aren't working, change up the tactics. Don't expect that Paraguay mistake or one bit of genius from your team's going to change the tactics. You're passing it in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like, I don't understand what you're expecting to change, because Paraguay are like, well, this is how they're playing. We're set up well to this. Why are we going to change? We're not needing to
Yeah.
change. It was, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think,
What I also don't get is right. So like everyone knew they were going to play a low block, right? Even the coach said we're going to play on the counter. That was what they're going to do. As soon as Paraguay come out, or any team doing this, attack. The amount of times that these big teams win the ball, then just like saunter up towards the goal. It's like, no, you get the ball and you fucking go for it. Then they've not had a chance to reset. They're not organised. Play with speed and directness.
the other thing is
I
they
don't
didn't have any width. The
know.
fullbacks
And
weren't
that's
coming forward, and I know that their fullbacks as a problem position for them. They've not
Yeah,
got
but
players
that
of the
Nathaniel
past.
Brown, like
It,
looks like
it,
he's got a left foot that he can get. Like, bro,
yeah,
mate, you stay as wide as possible,
just
and then like
put a few
Kimmich, you
crosses in.
stay as wide. and put crosses in. I get that all these forwards fucking play narrow, and that's what like the inverted wingers is that everyone's a fucking inverted winger. But if you've got who was it the you've got the left and right backs now take that half space, but then like Sané and fucking Musiala coming in as well, so you're all in the fucking same area.
Yeah,
It was the same for England. You've got Nico O'Reilly, who's like a really great like inverted left back, right? That's fine. But then Rashford and Gordon are coming in as well. It's like, well, who's going? Someone needs to go. One of the best things England did yesterday was play Declan Rice at right back
yeah.
because they play that half spaces and he's lobbing crosses in because he's really good. Like that actually really works. But
It
yeah,
would. I don't
teams
know.
are
I
just
don't know if it worked against Mexico, but yeah, it did
no,
work
but
against
the way that when
Congo.
they had all the pressure and you want someone
Yeah,
to put crosses in, it's fucking ideal. But yeah,
but
Germany,
the
it's like,
person,
lads,
one of the people that I was really disappointed with this too is Nagelsmann. I think
yeah.
playing your full strength team against Ecuador when Ecuador needed to win, you then lose. That loses you so much momentum, and
Mm.
he then comes out and says, "Oh well, it's because everybody said I changed things too much." Just do you. Don't worry about everybody else. See, as soon as you
He's a
start worrying about the media, the fans, everything else, you're done, and that's what happened.
he's in the Pep Guardiola block did it as well as that overthinking, like fucking doing things because you're like trying to show you the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Like when you're mate, it doesn't
Just win
work.
the game, just win the football match.
Just win the
Put
game. The best
win
way,
who's
yeah.
see what's in front of you and figure a way to beat them at that moment in time. Don't worry about anything else.
I've got one of my friends, Rob Mackay, he's a UEFA A licensed coach now. I kind of want to speak to him about like, why don't they just do these things? You play the low block. Why are you not putting crosses in? Is there a reason that I'm not seeing of like why these things don't happen, or is it just like fundamentals and you've got your beliefs and you can't stray from them? And it's like,
Yeah,
fucking
I think there'll be a bit
put your
about
pride in the bin.
beliefs. I think a bit about beliefs, and there'll be a bit about probably stat led that they think that there'll be stats that will show if you keep on doing this, chances are that you'll do. And I think sometimes your eye
It's a
test is
Guardiola. If you don't lose the ball, they can't score.
yeah.
Whereas if
But
you
how
lob,
many
if
times
you
have we seen? How many times have we actually seen teams with 30% winning games?
Yeah, because if you don't have shots, you can't win. So have a dig, get a
Yeah,
deflection. Look at the way fucking Mbappé is just pinging one of them in. Have a cross. Yeah, you might lose the ball and they might, but you fucking just go win it
yeah.
back then. For me, it's annoying. One other game we've got USA against Belgium, which is a really weird game. We're wearing the Belgian shirt because they fucking shithoused their way into the next round. I say they were done. So Senegal were 2-0 up. This game was over. And then Senegal, and I guess we're talking about the kind of maybe lack of tournament experience. I know they did well in 2002, but that's a very different, like, that team is not that team anymore. They went against the way they were playing. And I think there's that, like, oh, 2-0 up, we need to, like, not go for it. Just keep going. And you said they need another goal to kill this off. You said it. And Belgium, when you bring on Lukaku, you've got a guy who just needs that one good ball. He's so powerful in the box. He'll score, and he did. And then you've lost your first choice keeper. Mori Diaw flaps. Like, he fucking seemed to get smaller when he jumped and gets beaten there. Like, how do you get beat in the air when you've got fists and Tielemans has got his head? And I feel for them, but it's their own fault.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing.
Senegal,
Senegal put Senegal out, not Belgium. That is what.
Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah, they screwed themselves. They and I could see it coming. Not originally, but see the more the game went on. So see the kind of last kind of 15 minutes, I was like, you're playing too deep. You're not. You're not getting out. You're not even getting out to defend crosses. You're just holding on, and it's too early to be doing that. Lukaku's not the player to do that against. So I think I'm going to say something here. I think De Bruyne's leg's gone, and he has to maybe change position. I don't think Lukaku is done as a footballer. He just needs more minutes. He always
Yeah.
did. I think in
And I think
Napoli,
those conditions are hard. Like, fuck, it's going to sap your energy that you've maybe not got the match fitness already.
so I think at Napoli he could have probably played more, but I think he was protecting himself for the World Cup, and I think that's actually worked against him. But he still can just take chances. He still can
Mhm.
bully players. He can just back into a defender, and that defender knows that he's now pinned in, and that's what it took. It just took a wee bit of experience from his part to, I think, really get Belgium back into the game in that sense. But again, that was helped by Senegal just not playing their own game and not just, as I say, killing the game off, go for another one. They were there for the taking. They didn't take it, and then they get dumped out. Um, I was I was like you when I don't think the penalty situation. I can see why it's given. It's clumsy, I don't think it should
It's
have been given because I don't
it,
think either. I think if you're going to give that, the forward has to make a touch of the ball, in
yeah,
my
yeah,
opinion,
I was gonna
and
say
that's
yeah.
it. So that's not happened.
It's
But
a
see
coming
the
together, isn't it? They're both going for the ball, and he kicks his leg.
so originally as kind of neutrals and football fans, we're like, that's sad. That's disappointing. That's not a way to go put out this tournament. But see when they start play acting and fall on top of the penalty spot, then you start changing, and you're like, actually, do you know what? Just put them out now
Get
because it's
fucked.
because I can't
And
be
you were
going
John going,
this.
fucking walk off, fucking do
Yeah,
it again.
just
It
walk
was
off.
what
May
was
as
his
well because
name? Ishmael Cease was the one because like they're all huddling around the referee, and he was pulling at I think it's Moreira's like dreadlocks. He was
yeah,
fucking like tugging his
he was
dreadlocks,
and he was.
and then Moreira gives him a little dig
It's a
in
wee
the
flick,
ribs, and
yeah. So it's
he fucking goes down like a sack of shit. And you're like, ah, come on, lads.
But then,
Like,
Andrew, we've just discussed about putting balls in the box and everything else. You're in the dying stages, you're in the last seconds of the
oh,
game, and you're taking shot free kicks and trying to work an angle. Put the ball in the box. Just
it,
put the ball in
it,
the
it
box.
went to the right back, and you're like, put it in, and then he stops, and he passes it back to the left, and it goes back to him. Like, for fuck me,
Yeah,
what has happened to
I,
this game?
I have no
Like,
idea why you think you've got an extra 10 seconds to be doing this.
fucking
I mean, you
129th
should
minute,
just launch your
keep
keeper
playing
in
it
there.
round.
You should, instead of doing it now, launch everybody into that box and just have one person just to cross it in. Oh, that was so infuriating.
And this is where tournament experience and coaching experience matters a lot with these teams to get over the line. And it's hard. It is really hard. We've seen how hard it is. Like the amount of like you're looking at the games we've had. Like Japan were ahead. Even the Netherlands were ahead against Morocco. Morocco, I think, deserved that late goal from Issa Diop, but they were like Saibari, although he didn't score anything, was fucking brilliant. Like and that was a ridiculous game. We would have touched on it,
I
but
think that that's
Morocco,
a I think that that's a harder one to do because I think both teams do have experience, and I think Morocco are probably at the moment are just a better team than the Netherlands
yeah.
all in.
And I don't like how Koeman said. Koeman went like, "I'm going to play defensive," and yeah, and they kept bringing on fucking more midfielders, and there was some weird
Just a team of
decisions there.
midfielders.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting if they beat Canada and France beat Paraguay and we get those two. That could be really really good. So we've got a few of the big teams coming up, and I don't want to kind of jinx them before they play. Argentina, right, have one of the easiest runs to a quarterfinal you can possibly get. Cape Verde, they need to beat Cape Verde. I'm kind of expecting Egypt to beat Australia, but that could go either way, right?
I'm with you. Yeah,
I get Egypt. Argentina should win that. Like Egypt are a really good technical team. Like, they could put up a fight,
yeah.
but
Egypt are probably a level, if not two, below Argentina in my book. It's
yeah,
just it's just quality wise throughout the full squad. Plus, you've then got Messi as well, obviously.
yeah. I've got Colombia beating Ghana and Switzerland beating Algeria. But I mean, if they went the other way, I would not be surprised. But then whoever makes that quarterfinal against Argentina are going to be really strong favourites. So like, you could get to a semi final by playing Cape Verde, Egypt. I think Colombia would be a tough one. That'd be really fun. Again,
Yeah,
some South
that's
American madness would be great. And that again could go Colombia. The game against Portugal, like they had so many chances, so many like half chances. Like if you need to score, maybe that's their biggest Achilles heel is being able to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's where these like Harry Kane, your Mbappes, those guys like step up and score a goal or nothing. Yeah, like, I fancy Argentina. I'd be shocked if they do not make the semi final, and then they're in the Brazil, Norway, England, Mexico side. So that'd be fun. The other side is the tough ones. You get Portugal against Croatia, which I think we've not fancied Croatia at all, but
not
we've
really
not
fancy
fancied Portugal
Portugal.
either. Yeah. Uh, Austria against Spain is an interesting one. It's the passing against the Gegenpress can be really interesting. I think Austria are kind of a very mainland Scotland. They've got these good technical players in midfield. They've probably got a better defence, but there's just nothing up front.
And I think for for all tactics will get you so far, I think just the individual squad members for Spain will see to that. I think that
Yeah.
that'll be Spain.
And then it's Spain against Portugal if that happens, which
It's
yeah,
always good.
always good. USA Belgium. Well, the fact that one of those can get through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup without really doing
Too
USA
much.
were absolutely fine last night. Like they did. I think as I was talking to, we've got Mallory and Guille who are in our NFL chat who are like they're getting into it. They're follow the teams like that's what I call it's a professional performance.
Yeah.
Like get the goal, Balogun red card,
So
which
that's
we'll get
the
to in a
yeah,
second,
yeah.
and then they get the second. Like Bosnia did nothing, but they've still
You
got a
must have
threat from set
celebrated that
pieces.
Tillman goal like nothing. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, if you've not seen, hopefully seen on our shorts, me and Scott are doing our predictions. Scott picked Tillman goal assist and 2-0. When that went in, I was, because you look and go, he's fucking picked him. And the score, fuck. And Tillman had done nothing all game as well. Little dinky for you get, oh,
So he
fucking
needs to do it.
raging.
So he needs to do it.
Uh, but yeah, like so it was professional, but they've lost Balogun. Now, the red card, right? In my book, it isn't. But when I look through the rules and I'm looking at the wording of the rules, there's nothing in the rules about intent. There's nothing in the rules about accidental. It's not there. The only thing is about having your studs up and making contact. So by the letter of the law, it is a red.
So yeah,
And
I agree with you. I think my personal opinion, it's not red. I think there should be intent. There should
intent has to
be
be.
but as you say, by the rules of the law, in terms of the way it's worded, yeah. But then what FIFA are going to then have is people going, but what about Messi?
And that's all we've had all day. And
Yeah.
I get the Americans like, well, if that's the red, why is this not a red? And you're like, I totally agree. It doesn't make Balogun's not a red. It just means that Messi's should have been a red.
And it also means that VAR's not working fully because that should really be a VAR situation that's easily picked up.
Someone posted about VAR, and apparently VAR is only meant to show the slow motion when it's like trying to decipher something that you're not sure on. Like, was it this guy or was it like? It's not. It's not meant to be because you watched what you saw. It was straight away. It was straight to a freeze frame of his studs on his ankle, and
I
then
hate freeze frames. I hate freeze
and about
frames.
6 replays of the slow motion of his studs. Like, you need to watch it in full time a few
Yeah,
times first to go, well,
you
what's
should.
the situation? Why is he there? Like,
So I don't think you should get a freeze frame at all. I think it should be 2 or 3 times normal speed and then once slow motion. I think when you start doing it slow motion, you start doing freeze frame, you're already pointing in a
especially
direction.
when you start with the first one you look at is he studs on his ankle. You're like, well, that's a red. And that's all
Yeah.
and it's hard to go in your head. If you see that, you go, well, he studded him in the ankle, so that's a red. No matter what you see after that, it's so hard to be like, well, actually, it's,
But in fairness, though, I think in the main, the officiating's been quite good in the World Cup. I
yeah.
think they've left a lot of things go. The players go down injured, they're not caring, they're just
The
going,
amount of
carry on.
fouls have not been fouls. I'm like, that's definitely usually a foul, or that's definitely usually a card.
And
And they're
we've,
like, nah,
we've
just
had a
carry on.
hallelujah moment. People have now worked out the Harry Kane dive, so that's good as well. You know, that's
It was so funny that it's like the first viewing and full speed. I'm like, well, that's a pen because he's not touched the ball and
he's
he's
very
gone
good
flying.
at it. He's
Then you see
very good at it.
the little toe stub, and then fucking froze himself. You're like, okay, they've gone that. They fucking nailed that.
He's done that.
Uh,
He's done that his whole career. And he's very good at it. But now I think it's just that time that he has been caught out.
the other one he's good
Um,
at is letting the defender jump over top of him and fucking fall and nearly break
and
his back.
then
That's
yeah, and then
a Kane
yeah,
special.
just
Uh,
injure the
but yeah, I
opponent.
think the officiating's been great. We were talking about last night the players getting injured and they've just been kind of left,
Yeah.
or the teammates picking them up and going, mate, get up, because if you don't get up, you're going to
But
have to go off.
how many
Fucking
times have you seen they've got up a lot quicker because they've looked up, they've not got the game's carried on, they went, fuck, I need to get up and then just get back
it's
in the
one of
game.
my
Shape.
biggest bugbears, right? I remember they changed the rule a few years ago. Like the team is not expected to knock the ball out. Like the referee will decide if it's a injury that deserves treatment. And you see it in France, and like say like a whoever Lille are playing goes down, and Lille attack and don't do it, but then the other team gets the ball back. And they don't put it out either. So it's like, well, if you don't put it out, what the fuck? Why? And then it goes back to Lille again and they put it out and you go,
Yeah,
no. They had
exactly.
the
No,
fucking
no,
chance.
yeah. No,
And it's
I
like,
agree with you, yeah.
it'd be nice. No, like, if the referee thinks he's hurt, he will blow his whistle. If not, let the fucker lie there.
I hope that the European leagues, Champions Leagues, and everything else learn from this. I think it's
Yeah.
a head injury that you can tell straight away. I don't even mind.
But then, you know what they do now, though? Kicking the ankle and they go, oh, my head.
No, that's the thing. So I think when it comes to head injuries as well, use VAR. See that there's contact is limited, and then you
There's been,
go,
did you see there was one, I'll try and find it for you after this. There was the USA keeper last night with did his the Jordan Pickford dive on the ball. Demirovic goes past and kind of taps him on the shoulder. Fucking Googie was holding his head, rolling about. You're like, fuck off. To me, VAR should be going, he is taking the piss. Book
your
him.
card. Yeah. I agree
Yep.
with you. Yeah, because
Fucking like that. What's the
it's
point in VAR?
cheating.
There's three of them watching it. One of these goes, "Well, he's being a dick." Yellow card him, and
Yep,
it'll
and
fucking stop it.
even it doesn't have to be just the next time the ball's out of play as well. Yeah, by the way, see that
Yeah.
happened 5 minutes ago, book him for that.
Remember the country when Rivaldo did it in
Yeah.
2002? The uproar where he fucking went down like a sack of shit. Like,
No, but
like
what
that.
people don't understand is when that ball hit his knee, the pain went right through to his head, alright? So, I think everybody's taking it a bit too far in Rivaldo.
The nerves are all joined. It's
Yeah,
triggered in
it's
his
just
brain.
triggered some a
Yeah,
headache.
maybe it seems the keeper like the shoulder trigger. Yeah, fucking, it's ridiculous. What before we've got like a few minutes left, Scott? I was thinking last night, if this World Cup wasn't in America, right, and we hadn't had all the fucking Trump getting the fucking peace prize and uh,
Yeah, before
using
starting all the
Infantino like a
wars.
fucking sock puppet, this has the potential to be the greatest World Cup of all time. This because the stars have turned up, right? There was that day where Mbappe got two, Haaland got two, Messi got two. Messi's lighting it up. France are playing really well. Brazil have turned up. How many of these tournaments do you get? They all turn up fucking knackered because they played 60 games.
So even
They're
if you
all
look at England, though the squad hasn't turned up, Bellingham and Kane have. That's their two
yep.
world class players.
This is one of the first ones where you're like the players who you want to see. Like we're going to maybe see a bit more of Yamal because he's kind of I think he's getting closer to fitness. We've got Messi. We've got even like Belgium have been shit, but you got the goals of Lukaku, Pulisic, and Balogun are there. Mexico, like the hosts have been good. Like Canada have got through. Like it's got all the elements to be like it's a fucking brilliant World Cup, and it just pains me kind of where it is and all the kind of politics around it.
But do you
And
not find that that's similar to Qatar? Maybe not so much all the stars turning up, but I thought it was a very good World Cup, and it's kind of I mean, because World Cup final, for instance, was the best World Cup
oh,
final
but
by
easily
many.
in my lifetime,
And one of the
yeah.
best games for me that I've ever seen was the Dutch Argentina one. Do you know, it was just such a old firm type atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? They're just kicking lumps
Yeah,
at each other. It's that, is it Paredes smashing the ball into the Dutch technical area, and then Van Dijk gets to him first and just barges him to the ground. You know what I mean, so I do that.
and
I do
and
think
the
there's a
fact
bit.
we're looking at maybe like Spain, Portugal, France, Morocco, England, Mexico, Brazil could be Brazil, England, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina against Colombia. There's some belting games like that. It's going to be once we get to the quarters, if we get a couple of classics,
Yeah,
it could
I think
be.
it's certainly been one of the best, and I think that the big thing that I think is a positive is that we haven't been. There'll be certain games that have borders, don't get me wrong, but considering the amount of teams that are now in the competition,
Mm,
it hasn't wore thin. I'm still watching games. I'm still excited about games. Last night was really, in terms of Belgium were crap, but I still enjoyed the game. It was entertaining. It wasn't a great game of
yeah,
football, but it was entertaining, and I
yeah.
enjoyed it.
I don't mind
Um,
if you get a game that's maybe not great, but there's still elements of like, well, that was fun. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
and I think as a whole, I think it's been a very successful tournament. I think they've been. I think I don't know if it's by procedure or just chance. Having Trump not going to the games has probably helped it out. I think. I just it takes a focus off. I wish. Listen, I wish Infantino didn't go to every game. I don't understand that. I don't think.
he's getting his fucking air miles in, mate. He's got a great holiday coming up.
Oh
The fucking
Jesus,
points
the
that
guy
man's
just
collecting.
drives me insane.
I think there's more than one of them. There must be. He has to be cloned.
Oh,
But there's
it
a few of them.
basically either that or he's just seen 2 minutes of football. So what I would prefer if I was the president of FIFA, or if I
Pick one
was
game.
a nice president of FIFA that I wanted to if I admired, I'd be like, just go to one game, enjoy that game. That's all I need. I don't need to
Yeah,
see it every game. I don't care, and I don't need the TV to show that you're at that game. It's like insane. I don't care.
I'm also enjoying because it's if you don't know, basically it's a world feed. So what you see on the camera is what everyone sees. Like BBC don't pick, ITV don't pick. Them going to the celebrities and them not having a fucking clue who anyone
Yeah,
is. And
it's brilliant.
I know American culture, but even some of the sports guys like NFL, they wear helmets. I'm like, I don't know what every one of them looks like.
And
Like when they're
after
wearing civilian clothes, I'm like,
Well,
I
after the
should know
first
who it
few
is.
group games, they were getting like bits of paper, like sheets of paper with all
Well, I
the
think I
names
think
on
you
it.
always get that, but if you put like a
But yeah,
YouTuber's
but they
name on
still
a bit of
don't know.
paper,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
don't know who the fuck it is. I need like a. They've definitely been given pictures
Yeah.
because there was one of the games where Connor Gillespie, who is like a guard for the Phoenix Suns, right? Even I was like, I didn't notice him straight away. And I think it was one of the ITV goes, oh, that was Connor Gillespie of the Phoenix Suns. Like, you don't know who Connor Gillespie is. He is a generic white man in the NBA. Like, fuck off.
But I
Like,
prefer it when they don't. I prefer it when they don't know. They go, must be famous in
but
America. I just don't know the guy.
I also hate the being proud of not knowing
Yeah, yeah,
as
don't
if
go
it's some
for
kind
it.
of
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know who these fucking people are because I'm better than this. And no, just be like that. I wish you just go.
Oh, you don't need to say anything. You
It's
don't need
clearly
to...
someone because I've showed them, but I've not got a fucking clue. And it's not Danny Murphy talking about his dead cat on a postman's box. Like, have you seen that?
Yeah, and he thinks he's like hilarious and stuff like
He's
that.
telling a story about how his cat jumped in the back of a Royal Mail truck and then they lost him. And he was like, sad, really. And you're like, fucking hell, Danny.
So you see the video of the two of them talking,
Commentators
and the
going,
comment just like, "The
what
fuck are you
the fuck
talking
to do
about?"
with this? It's like,
It's because the
what the
cat was called Bob, and Oscar Bob's point doesn't mean they have to reminisce about your dead cat. Yeah,
It's
absolute
brilliant,
warper.
though. Absolutely brilliant.
Uh,
I love it. And it's things like that that kind of add to. I know we had Jonathan Pierce last night at fucking 3 a.m., which no one needs. And I'll never forget. You must remember was it in Brazil 2014 when they brought in goaling technology and Benzema scores and hits off the far post and comes back across and he sees the first one that's on the line. He's like, "It says no goal. It says no goal." And then it goes across the line. He's like, "Well, they're just making it up now." You're like, "No, Jonathan, that's how it works."
One day it didn't
The
cross
ball.
the line, and then it did cross the line.
So last night there was is it 5 minutes injury time on the board, and it got to the 48th minute, and he genuinely said, "Oh, we've had 8 minutes of injury time already." And I'm like, "No, Jonathan, there's still 45 minutes and a half, eh?" And I feel with poor Sue Smith, who does the co-coms,
She's
and
the co-cops.
I know Sue from doing the women's stuff, and so she's worked with Jonathan for a long time. So I wish I could have seen Sue's face when that, because I was just sat in a booth in Salford at fucking 2 a.m. doing the game, and she's like, "The fuck are you all about?"
I think the commentators not in America.
No, not the
Not
Salford
all of
ones,
them.
because you can tell because there's no. I don't think any of them are.
No, Danny Murphy. They see the video there.
Are they ones
Alan
there? But
Shearer's there.
I think you can tell that when it's like the game starts at 1 and it cuts to BBC at 10 to 1, and you just get them straight to comms
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
just
And Sue said something, and she said it as if she wasn't there,
right.
and it was like the way she said it. I was like, you like that's you. Just like naturally the way you said it was like oh them over there or something. It was the way it was like you're definitely not there.
So
It was the same.
the live games that they'll have, like the earlier ones, will probably have two or three
To be there.
commentators that there, and then there'll be ones that,
But I think like
as you say,
Jonathan
middle of the
Pierce and
morning.
Sue and those. I think Robin Cowan, who just does WSL as well, she's definitely not there. She did like one of the 3 a.m. games as well, and you're like, it makes sense. Like, just have them
Yeah.
fucking turn up
I
in
think
Salford and
I
do.
think the Scottish ones, the Scottish ones are there, McFadden and
Well, they were on BBC, so BBC were definitely there.
BBC were definitely there. I thought
No,
BBC.
sorry, yeah, was it there on
Yeah,
BBC?
McFadden's
Yeah,
BBC
because James because he was in the stadium, the
Stadium.
pitch of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so there's, but again, I think that's because they had Alan Shearer and a couple of the
Shearer's
English ones. Yeah.
yeah. And it was the game, the France game that got delayed when like, Giroud was in the studio and there was like a 2 hour delay and never went back to the studio. They must went, off you go, lads. You just can go home. And it's gone till 2 a.m. We're going to be here till 3 because they didn't go back to the studio at all. It was just like the game's back on. Like
Yeah, just carry
go and
on.
just carry on.
I do
But
feel
no, but
sorry for Giroud. Do you know what I mean? He signed up to that gig thinking he was getting to America. He didn't think he was staying in Salford.
well, apparently they might be going to quarterfinals. I think they've
But
said
yeah, I
so.
think that was, yeah, that was the original plan. I thought it was the knockout stages, but as you say, I think it might be quarterfinals.
Yeah,
Because I think there was that other thing that Joe Hart said yesterday about going to the Azteca, and Mika Richards had to remind him that he wasn't. He's going to stay in Salford for that game.
because like, I'm off. See you. I'm going because I'm on like seven. I'm on every fucking channel going. Nailed it. I fucking can't stand him. Anyway, yeah, I think it's got. If we get a couple of classics still to come, I think it could be probably one of the best World Cups in terms of like entertainment. Because like also we love Italian, but we said like some of the games are crap.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this one's got all the
I
elements to
think
be.
the biggest point which you mentioned, I think, for going in the pro column, is that the superstars have turned up and been superstars. you know,
Yeah, and
and
if we get a few more Mbappe moments, a few Messi moments again, like it's just gonna like if we get like a Messi knockout winner at some point, like that's just gonna elevate
or
it
even
to
you say with Brazil, if you get Brazil, Norway, and it's just Vinny scores, Haaland scores,
how it's
Vinny
go yeah.
scores, do you know what I mean? That kind of thing as well, you know, it's
Or maybe like an Hendrick scores and you get a new
yeah,
superstar or
yeah, no,
something like
you would,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to the knockouts that to come. Scott, are we still going France to win it all?
Yeah, I think so. I can't look but beyond them at this stage. They just look
It's a
too
bit
good.
like when Tom Brady was at the Patriots. Like I'm going to back him until he doesn't do it. So until they don't get through, it's France all the way. I think the way they're cruising along, playing some of the best football we've seen so far. Yeah, it's hard to look past them. Right, we will be back next week, I imagine. If you haven't seen our shorts, go look at our prediction shots that go up every day. And so as Scott's pulling away with it now, what's the score? I've
Yeah,
been
all
skip.
the big guys turned up at the knockout stages, Sandra.
You're 3 points ahead. It's fair to mate, we've both nailed the scorers. We're doing really
Yeah,
well.
I don't know.
You've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 7 out of 8 of the scorers in the last 8 games, and I've got 6 out of 8. But you've got a couple
I
of
think I've got
the
I
schools as
I hadn't
well.
had the scores and the scores, and then I got 2, I think, this week, so I think that's
You've got
maybe helped.
three,
Oh,
three.
3. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I have not.
Not
So
yet, not yet.
hopefully I can make a comeback. But guys, thanks for watching, listening. Please like, press
Subscribe,
comment, some subscribe, whatever the
all the
kids do these
stuff.
days. All this stuff. From me and Scott. Until next time, enjoy the World Cup.
Thank you.
Bye for now.